Hello, a little bit of nice progressive metal for you today. The band is called Ophelion, and their new album, well, their debut album indeed, it's called The Jaunt. Okay, and Ophelion, say newly formed. This is a progressive metal concept album, and the band contacted me recently to ask if I wouldn't mind giving it a listen and a review. So here I'm doing just that. Before I tell you a little bit more about it, if you wouldn't mind first subscribing to the channel, because that would be a big help and appreciated if you wouldn't mind, please. Anyway, back to this. So the band contacted me a few days ago, asked if I wouldn't mind giving it a listen and a review. And when I saw in that email that the Jaunt concept album, that kind of sealed the deal, because I've always been a bit of a sucker for a good concept album. They sent me the digital files, and despite me for many years just not going there, this downloading, streaming, whatever it is, and being a bit of an old dog, I taught myself a new trick in order to listen to it. After realizing that my car stereo media player thingy can handle something called an MP3 file on a USB stick. So I taught myself how to do that despite being a Luddite, but that's a slight diversion, is it? Because I'm not talking about the album. But anyway, so a new trick learned and actioned. I've spent the last few days listening to it while I've been driving around here and there. So now to review it. The concept is inspired by a Stephen King story called The Jaunt, which is set in a future where teleportation is instantaneous, but only if you're under sedation. However, the subject of the story decides to teleport, but whilst remaining conscious during this jaunt, only to find themselves cast into some kind of formless void beyond time, space and sensation, says the blurb. But unfortunately for them, their problems don't end there, and some, well, let's just say some unintended consequences develop. And I won't spoil the rest of the story by telling you what happens. You'll have to listen to the album to do that, but that wouldn't be any hardship. Musically, I would say it's quite hard-hitting progressive metal. The album does flow together well, and at around about 3/4 of an hour, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Bar the 2 minutes or so interlude of a track called Emergence, the other 4 tracks clock in at around about 10 minutes, but bar the closer, which is 14. And generally, I would say that there are some nice, short, crunchy riffs going on, some frantic yet engaging, fast and fluid guitar runs. In amongst those riffs, some nice tribal-style rhythmic drumming, big bass, and the keyboard swells add some atmosphere nicely throughout without being overpowering. I think it's all very well composed. The vocals are good too, but that leads me to a slight gripe, which is these the use of some of these death metal style growls. Now that's just to say a personal gripe for me, because that style of vocal it's never attracted me. It doesn't sit well with me at all. But say that's just a personal thing, and because they've used it sparingly, it didn't detract too much from the listening experience for me. I can live with the growly things because the rest of the album makes up for it. And the more I've listened to it, the more I've felt I've liking it, bar the growly stuff. It's not instantly accessible, I think, but it does open up after a few listens. So to try and summarise it, I would say it's competent progressive metal, got some nice bite to it. The story and the concept is told well lyrically, and I would say it's a promising debut effort from Ophelion. The whole album, if you want to listen to it or watch it or whatever, is on Ophelion's YouTube channel, so you can go and find that. And the digital version, I don't think there's a physical version, so the digital version is available directly from the band's BandCamp page, which I will link to in the description below, so you can go there and listen to it and pick it up if you'd like to. And no doubt with it being digital, it'll be available on various streaming downloady things. Spotify, is it? I still don't understand all that stuff. But if you look for it on your channel of choice, I'm sure you'd find it. But I say directly from the band through their Bandcamp page, which will be linked in the description below. So that's Ophelion and The Jaunt. Thanks for the band for drawing it to my attention. And please do subscribe to this channel before you disappear. And as always, until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.